This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I am your host, Gianna, and today we have the opportunity of talking to Gerad Wombles. Thank you for joining us. Excited to get to know you.
Thank you. You too.
Of course. So, Gerad, take us back to the beginning. Who are you? Where are you from? How'd you grow up to be a real estate agent?
Gerad Wombles. I grew up locally here in rural Missouri. Grew up on a red dirt road, just hunting and fishing growing up. Got into real estate as an investor about 20 years ago, right after the dot-com bubble burst. You may be too young to remember that, but and then about 7 years ago, I became a real estate agent. I had built a bowling center and a sports bar and a restaurant here in the town where we live, and worked that for 6 years, and sold out and lost a bunch of money, and decided to become a real estate agent. And but that was a blessing in itself, because in our little town of 10,000-ish people, now I know everybody. So,
yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Some seem to like me, so that's good.
Good. You know, they write songs about your upbringing, Gerad, out here in Nashville. Those red dirt roads, hunting and fishing.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to grow up.
Awesome. Well, Gerad, how were you introduced to EXP then? Was it your first brokerage, or what's the story there?
I was with a boutique brokerage, and nobody you've ever heard of probably, but a good brokerage, and had a great split and loved it there. I've been friends with the broker for 20 years and thought I'd never leave. And about 3 years ago, a friend of mine that I'd known from high school called me, and she's an agent in Springfield with EXP, had been with KW. And she's like, you need to check this brokerage out. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I typically average about 100 transactions a year, and 8 to 10 million in sales. And I was very happy where I was at, super busy. Didn't think I had time to look at anything. So she, every couple months, she'd say, hey, you really need to check this out. And finally, about 6 months out into it, I said, fine, send it to me. I'll check it out. So it was just like the 8-10 minute kind of brief video. And, again, I thought I'd never leave the brokerage I was at, and I'm very happy there. And about 8 minutes into the information, I'm like, oh my God, I'm leaving. And,
this is it for me. This model makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's so many things. I mean, and I left a better split to come to, I was on a 90-10 split and moved to EXP with which is an 80-20. But just so many opportunities and things for retirement and different things with EXP that made a lot of sense.
Multiple streams of income, the opportunity for a little bit of help on health insurance and all kinds of different benefits, collaboration, stock options, rev share, you name it. So Gerad, now that you're over here, what is your favorite part of EXP, or maybe something you didn't expect when you decided to make that switch that now you love?
Probably my favorite part is the rev share, the ability to put myself in a broker's position without actually having to be a broker.
Mm-hmm.
So I can have a conversation with an agent and bring them into the company, and I get paid like a broker every month whenever they make a sale, and just for having that conversation.
Absolutely.
It creates a residual income and kind of helps level out the highs and lows of real estate,
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And Gerad, before we dive into all things Icon and being an Icon agent, production, you name it, let's talk about you, that work-life balance. How do you draw a line between work and play and balance balance family with work and just that work-life balance?
Um, I pretty much work 7 days a week. So there's, but I have, I raised 3 kids on my own, and I end up coaching multiple
Mhm.
sports typically,
Okay.
depending on the season. Um, so the cool thing that I've always loved about real estate is that if I have things with my kids, I just have an appointment, and my clients don't need to know that it's an appointment with my kids. But so we just, if we have things going on, we just block that out. And, if we're busy from 4 to 5, I say, hey, I can meet you to show this property at 3 or
Mhm.
6. So that's one of the things I love about real estate is I can, allows me to prioritize.
Be a little flexible and do the things that you enjoy, or outside commitments that aren't necessarily revenue generating, but also as a coach and being involved, that's a sphere of influence you've got there, so not a bad
Exactly.
thing to have. So Gerad, let's talk production. So in your market area in Missouri, don't yell at me if I mispronounce that. My Colorado and me likes to not pronounce the southern states correctly. So Missouri, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Um, what does that average housing price look like for you? How many houses do you have to sell to be able to cap out there?
I don't know the exact numbers, but it's fairly rural. Price point is quite a bit lower than Kansas City or Springfield, the bigger areas. We're probably looking at an average price of $130,000 to $150,000
Mhm.
on a home here in our local area. Um, I guess what we're looking at, probably roughly 20 houses to cap. We also do a lot. I anyway do a lot of land and investment properties
Sure.
in this area. So it generally takes me a little bit, few more deals to cap, because we deal in some lower end investment properties.
Sure, of course. Yeah, it's going to be a little different out there for you in Missouri than it is for somebody living in Los Angeles, California. So that's why I always ask that question so that listeners can kind of get a gauge of, where this real estate agent is at and their market's at, and just how hard they have to hustle to get that icon status.
Exactly.
So Gerad, beyond just production, there's also a cultural commitment that comes with iconing, right? So you've got to be a mentor or teach an EXP world, vet other icons. So what avenue do you take for that and why?
In the past, I've taken the what was it, the vetting, where you interview
Yeah,
other icons that have recently hit icon. I love that because I got the chance to talk to people from Alaska or Vancouver or Nashville, or just different people that
sure.
are achieving big numbers.
Great networking opportunity.
Oh, it's amazing just learning and seeing what their market's like and talking to them about what they're doing, and a chance to learn from other high producing agents. So that was amazing. I know they just kind of switched where we have different opportunities, and so I'm just kind of getting into that. And I think actually the first year I missed the cultural aspect of it, so I dropped the ball on that one.
Dang it. But you still get half that stock back, or yeah, half that cap back in stock for just hitting the production. I had an icon agent I interviewed this week, and I was like, so what do you do for your cultural commitment? He's like, I don't. It's a waste of time for me. And I was like, fair enough. All right. Love the transparency. So
Nothing
fine
wrong
by
with
me.
that.
But and I'm sure fine by EXP too. They'll keep that cap, that half of your cap.
Exactly.
But so Gerad, my next question is gonna be, what is your favorite benefit of being an icon agent, right? So you get these nice big glass shiny trophies, they've got monetary value, cap back in stock, opportunity to go to EXP Con shareholders, what drives you to continue to hit icon year after year and take the time to work towards it?
Uh, I've always done since my first year in real estate. I've always done icon numbers.
Mm.
So it's just. I mean, I love chasing goals. I don't chase money so much in real estate. If I do a deal and it pays $500, it's just as important as the one that pays 5,000 or whatever.
Mhm.
So I just chase the shiny trophy but I do love what they've recently done when we were down in shareholders. The extra room with some fruit and drink
Mhm.
things and the
Oh
ability
yeah.
to meet with other icons and pick their brain and learn from them and chat with them. That's been I love that.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit outside that room at if they have one at EXP Con and drag more people to my podcast.
Yeah,
I think that's where I
absolutely.
got you, right? With shareholders.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw those little banners and I said, "Come
Yeah,
talk to me."
exactly.
And then I think you were the one that I probably had scheduled when I caught on fire, right?
Uh-huh.
So yep, so glad we got rescheduled here, but
Yeah.
everything's good. But yeah, it's a fun room and great place to interact with other icon agents. You're fine. Yeah, and that's tis the life of a real estate agent, folks. Just the phone ringing off the hook all the time.
Exactly.
But Gerad, that's awesome. It's awesome to be an icon agent, easy to catch referrals, great reputation to have, and reputability when it comes to being an EXP and a local real estate agent and somebody that knows what they're doing. It really sets you apart. So, as somebody that's maybe new to EXP, or whether they're a rookie or coming from another brokerage, is it possible for them to icon in their first year? What's that process going to look like for them, if it's even possible?
I think it's absolutely possible. If just depending on your background and your drive. It's just about going to work every day or most days and being productive. I brought in a couple 2 years ago, and I think they missed it the first year, but they hit it last year.
Sure.
It's just about going to work and hitting it hard and being productive.
Yeah. Awesome, Gerad. And that's right. Like, lean into your mentors and hit it hard. That's a big goal to be able to achieve. So, you got to hold yourself accountable, find an accountability partner, mentor, coach, whatever that is. That goal's achievable, but it's not an easy one, right?
No, that's
And
true.
it's
That's true.
it's easy to miss by 2 transactions too, just by taking one day off or saying no to one showing. It really can make or break your icon status.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and missing it by 1 or 2 deals would suck.
Isn't that what you did, Gerad? You said your first year you missed it by a couple deals.
Well, no, my
Oh,
first
you missed
years
the
I was with
cultural
another
committee.
company, but no, I've been with EXP for 2.5 years, and I've hit Icon 3 times. It's
Awesome,
been
awesome.
good.
You just missed a cultural commitment. I mixed that up. I got too excited talking to you.
Yeah.
Gerad, were you ever skeptical of EXP when it was first introduced to you? I know when you finally sat down and looked at the model, you're like, this makes sense. But when you first heard of EXP or somebody first brought it up to you, were you like, that's too good to be true? No way I'm going over there.
Not really. I had no frame of reference. When my friend called me and said, "Hey, you need to take a look at this," I'm like, I never heard of it, but it wouldn't have mattered what the company was. I just was very happy where I was at, and the office rent was low, split was great,
Yeah.
doing a lot of transactions. Everything was clicking along like I thought it should. But when I saw that we're publicly traded and you can get discounted stock and there's revenue share and I can put myself in a broker's position without actually having to be a broker, it was a no-brainer.
Absolutely. Gerad, the model just makes sense, right? For a numbers person or somebody that's just looking for a great community and structure, EXP is here for that. And for somebody that's maybe watching our episode and they're thinking about making the jump to EXP, but of course, the industry is littered with false news, fake news about EXP, like it's a pyramid scheme, it's a cult. You don't want to go over there. So what would you say to somebody watching right now that sees the greener grass, but they're scared? They don't know how to cut that cord and make the leap of faith.
I would say 2 things. One, in real estate, it doesn't matter what brokerage you're with, really. It's going to come down to split, a few other things, but the agent is who the people trust. And
Right.
They don't care what the brokerage is behind you, really. Shoot, I just lost my train of thought.
It's okay. So we're talking to people about they're scared to come over to EXP, but they see all the benefits. They want to make the move.
So the point that I was going to make was, as a real estate agent, none of us are better than our next deal. It doesn't matter what agency you're with. If you don't have another deal in the pipeline, then you don't have a check coming.
Right. Absolutely. And that the cool thing about EXP is that you have the opportunity to have 3 streams of income, right? So you've got that commission, stock options, and rev share. And so, most brokerages, you don't sell a house, too bad, like no money coming your way. But here you attract some agents, or you get a little stock options going. You can dedicate 5% of your commission split to discounted stock options. It's awesome. Always kind of has a backup plan for you. So if you guys are scared about making that move to EXP, definitely reach out. Gerad's here. He'll answer your questions, whether you're in the area or, not. We live in a virtual world. So reach out, see if he's the right sponsor or fit for you. And if not, he'll hook you up with somebody else he knows in the EXP world. And Gerad, are you going to EXP Con?
Oh yeah. Already signed up.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, that's all. Sorry, keep going.
I don't miss events.
Good. Well, yeah, you get stock back for it. Hello.
Yeah.
And the opportunity to go to fun, Florida and Vegas. And I had an Icon agent that went to shareholders, but didn't go to many meetings. He was golfing almost every day, but he was he was registered. And I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. Ornery Icon agents. But nonetheless, Gerad, as we wrap up today, is there anything that you'd like to leave the listeners with?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the cool things about going to events is that, whether you golf during the day, some of the most important things I've learned as a real estate agent have been just chatting with, maybe have a drink with somebody, meet somebody random at the bar or at a restaurant and just get to chatting with them, see what they're doing. The collaboration, and everybody is very willing to share in EXP because it's kind of a rising tide lifts all ships,
That's right.
mentality with the stock and being publicly traded and things. So, that's one of the things I really like about EXP.
Yep. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to reach out to Gerad. Gerad, I look forward to catching a drink with you, hopefully in Vegas.
Absolutely.
And we will be in touch in the meantime. Have a good weekend, Gerad. I'll let you take care of business. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.